Thank you for Professor FURUMAI. I greatly appreciate to have this opportunity. So I'm Keiko Wada, Deputy Director for Institute of Lake Biwa-Yodo River Water Environment Research and Advisory Fellow of Water Environment Laboratory Construction Services in Keiko region. So, how many of you have ever been to Lake Biwa or known the name? If so, please raise your hand. Oh, okay, thank you. Today, I'll be talking about the Lake Biwa-Yodo River Basin, ever-being water quality preservation and environment management. In my lecture, first I'll talk about the status of Lake Biwa-Yodo River Basin. Next, I will show you the change in the basin environment. In particular, I'm going to focus wastewater treatment plant, which is point sources control from perspective of historic and policy events. And I'll show you the approach for non-point sources and suggest strategies for relationship between countermeasure and different factors. Finally, I'll talk my conclusion. Then, let's talk about the general status of Lake Biwa. It's so south area of Lake Biwa. So, with a history spanning some 4 million years, Lake Biwa is the oldest lake in Japan and one of the ancient lakes in the world. Lake Barka, Lake Tanganyika, and so ancient lakes. Therefore, Lake Biwa is home to many freshwater fish and individual species, such as many species making Lake Biwa to ecological treasure house. So these photos are endemic species and subspecies of Lake Biwa. About 6 taxa are presently regarded as endemic species. This photo, the white plankton, is very beautiful and it's a similar medal. So Lake Biwa has a unique geographical feature. I said Lake Biwa is the oldest lake, but also the largest freshwater lake in Japan. This narrowest point, there is the Biwako Bridge. We have called this area as Northern Lake, and this area as Southern Lake. The average depth of Northern Lake is 43 meters, while that of Southern Lake is only 4 meters. Thus, these have different characters such as geography, water quality, and aquatic organisms, and so on. Lake volume is 27.5 billion cubic meters. Therefore, the lake place of total storage capacity will have taken 19 years. This means if the water pollution was once occurred, its recovery should take very, very long times. And furthermore, the whole basin has very much to do with Lake Biwa. Lake Biwa and Yodo River encompasses 6 prefectures: Mie, Shiga, Kyoto, Hyogo, Osaka, and Nara. Orange lines shows the Lake Biwa-Yodo River basin boundary. Its Total area is 8,240 square kilometers and one of the largest basins in Japan. So Old City and Kyoto City and Osaka City. So Old City is Shiga Prefecture capital and located south in Lake Biwa. The ninth International Lake Management Conference held in 2001, so 20 years ago. Kyoto City, which is located between Old City and Osaka City. You know, Kyoto is famous of source of World Heritage, Gold Temple, Silver Temple, and many temples, and venue of COP3 in 1997 as Kyoto Protocol. Now, COP21 in 2016 as Paris Agreement. Downstream, the Osaka City. Osaka City is well known as the capital of water. It's called as Mizu no Miyako in Japanese. Mizu means water, and Miyako means the capital. Some 460 rivers and streams in surrounding mountains flow into the Lake Biwa. But outflow only one river. It's Seta River. First, Lake Biwa and Seta River and enter the Kyoto Prefecture and name change the Uji River. And from northwest side, Katsura River. And from east side, Kizu River. And three rivers are meeting to this point, and from here, name change to the Yodo River and go out at the Osaka Bay. And Ina River here is in Hyogo area. Yodo River is the main river. This slide shows the characteristics of the Lake Biwa-Yodo River basin. Basin name the Lake Biwa and Uji River, Kizu River, Katsura River, Yodo River, Ina River, and basin area and discharge. Half of the total drainage area of Yodo River is Lake Biwa, and 65% of total discharge of Yodo River comes from the Lake Biwa. Lake Biwa water source is very important. The water is first used in upper basin Lake Biwa and dam reservoirs. Then, and in mid-basin around Kyoto City through the Uji River and canals. And the final users are located in the Osaka Plain. Almost people in Kansai region depended upon water from Lake Biwa. And Lake Biwa River system is a source of drinking water for 14 million people living in the Kansai region. There are about 130 water service providing live water in the basin. The water is also used for industrial, agricultural, power generation, and environmental purposes. Actually, the basin is characterized by the complex water intake, the effluent discharge. This slide shows distribution of tap water intake and sewage treatment plant in Yodo River Basin. Yodo River, and this is the Uji River, and upper stream, and Lake Biwa. And this is the Katsura River and upper stream and Kyoto City. Green cubic shows sewage treatment plant, and the red circle shows tap water intake. You can see the sewage treatment plant, this upstream, and tap water intake and downstream. So outlets of sewage treatment plant are upstream from water intake for Osaka Prefecture. So very high rate of water recycling. Yodo River water is repeatedly used again and again. This figure was studied possible numbers of passage into sewage treatment plant. So none and 1 time and 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times, and 5 times. This figure, according to the result, it suggests downstream people might drink the water used 5 times. So I live in Osaka. I might be drinking wastewater every day. Oh my God. Yeah. So next is water quality history. Eutrophication issues have not only all Japan, but also Lake Biwa-Yodo River Basin. The water quality of Lake Biwa and rivers significantly deteriorated in 1916s due to the population growth in the catchment area of Lake Biwa. In 1977, Lake Biwa occurred the first large-scale freshwater red tide. The main phytoplankton is Roglena americana. And blue-green algae first occurred in Lake Biwa in summer of 1983. Main phytoplankton is a Microcystis aeruginosa. So therefore, the Japanese government enacted the water pollution control law in 1970. The Shiga Prefecture government revised the pollution control ordinance in 1972 in order to reinforce regulation of industrial effluent, a major cause of the water pollution. Shiga Prefecture prepared itself well beforehand. It was found that one of the causes of the freshwater red tide was phosphorus contained the synthetic detergents. So that enacted the ordinance for the prevent of eutrophication of Lake Biwa in 1979. And the Clean Lake Law, enacted by the Japanese government in 1984, and then established the first plan for conservation of lake water quality in 1987 to promote comprehensive water quality conservation measures, including the installation of sewage systems. So now, especially, it should not be forgotten this in talking about Lake Biwa-Yodo River water history. Lake Biwa, a comprehensive development project, it was initiated as a 25-year plan in 1972. So the project has 3 major objectives. First, the conservation, water quality conservation, and the utilization of natural environment. Sewage work, night source, and stock wastewater treatment plant and monitoring plant. Sewage works and water monitoring plan I will show you later. Second, and flood control. Improvement in flow river and conservation and improvement of catchment areas. Water control and flood control and sabo and erosion control and so on. Third objective is important, water utilization. Water utilization in the prefecture and fissures and downstream area, 40 cubic meter per second maximum water supply. That total cost is 1,008,636 million. That was a huge budget. What you can see here is the percentage of sewage treatment population of compare with Shiga prefecture and national average. Y-axis shows sewage coverage rate by population and served. White circle is Shiga prefecture and black circle shows a national average. Very low than national average, the freshwater red tide occurred, algal bloom and occurred. So LBCD the launch, Lake Biwa Ordinance, Clean Lake Act Plan for Clean Lake Act, and the Lake Biwa LBCD comprehension. And post LB Lake Biwa comprehensive conservation plan by 6th military government and started Mother Lake 21 plan. In fact, it's able to say that law and regulations successfully reduced pollutant into the water bodies and helped to improve the water quality in rivers. And one more important enforcement of policy is here. There is a lot of monitoring sites on Lake Biwa and rivers. Surveys of water quality of water in Lake Biwa and inflow rivers are performed regularly by Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism. Japan Water Agency and Shiga Prefecture jointly in order to monitor the extent which environment standards. There are 28 sites in North Lake, 19 sites in South, and 20 sites main rivers to inflow the lake. They provided a matched level of data to us. You can see here is annual changes in inflow river and water quality. Inflow the rivers and so west of North Basin and east of North Basin and South Basin and Seta River, three divided categories. This is a change of BOD concentration of inflow rivers. BOD concentration and South Basin and Seta River is decreased. Next, total nitrogen has slowly decreased. Total phosphorus has dramatically decreased. You know, the water quality of inflow rivers has improved in Japan. And then, shall we take a look at midstream of BOD concentration? In Katsura River, pollution issues had very serious. This river flows through the Kyoto city. Kyoto is famous of textile industry, which is identified as a major water user. This photo is a bird view Katsura River in 1919. I have seen Katsura River a long time ago, very surprised. River is black color for the dyeing effluent. This wastewater treatment, the color is black. But now, water color has improved because of installing ozonation and activated carbon treatment. We know the change of only one river from line graph. However, many rivers are connected in 4 basins. Therefore, I created a basin map of visualization from monitoring data. This JICE map helps to see condition of the entire basin from bird eye views. Graphs the status of water quality is important in gaining an understanding of changes, not only in water quality, but also in the ecosystems. This GIS map helps to see conditions of entire basin from the bird eye view. We used the social structure and water quality items, facility-related water, and so on. And target flow and 30 years ago, around 1919, and 2 years ago, 2000, and 10 years ago to 2009, and validation map difference in data between 20 years ago and present. So, okay, let's get a start. Population and distribution. So, population is 1990. So, 2000 and 2010. Okay, see. And 1999, 2020, 2000, 2010. So changes the data over 20 years, increased by approximately 2.9% over the past 20 years, especially southwest waters of Lake Biwa, in the river area, and Kids River area, and Osaka City. Next shows the land use. Land use as in 1991. So red color is building use, and smoky green is paddy field agriculture. So changes 1997 and 2009. So urban area building is changes the data. So urban area has increased wide population in the growth. The next is water treatment facilities. Before 1919, wastewater treatment facilities had been constructed in areas around Yodo River and Osaka City. After 1919, wastewater treatment facilities have been constructed in small cities. The existing wastewater treatment facilities also have expanded coverage. And next is the BOD concentration. BOD as 1919, cool color shows decreased, and warm color and shows increased. And 99, the warm color is many rivers. 20 BOD as in 2000. BOD as in 2009. So, and warm color is the hue. So BOD was improved in the river. Usually, population increase causes the deterioration of water quality due to domestic wastewater. In that case, the BOD concentration in rivers should be higher. Left figure shows the state of sewage service coverage by population served in 2010, which may be compared with population and distribution, indicating that most of the Lake Biwa population centers and downstream Kids River areas are already well served by their respective sewage systems. As shown right, the BOD concentration was different from the expected result and decreased. So, and sewage treatment plant and not increase the BOD concentration. On the other hand, the upstream Kids River and Katsura River areas where are not well served by the respective sewage systems. Not covered area continues the BOD problem. The contribution rate of point source of pollution has been significantly improved over the past decades, thanks to the increased coverage of wastewater treatment. Then, here let's return to Lake Biwa again. This slide shows transparency and COD and BOD concentration of Lake Biwa. Water quality of Lake Biwa has had a decreasing BOD, but it has an increasing COD since 1984. And maybe non-biodegradable organic substances may increase. This slide shows a change in the total nitrogen and total phosphorus water quality of Lake Biwa over time. But still, the environmental standard has not been reached all. Now here is a change in outbreak of blue-green algae and freshwater red tide in Lake Biwa. Freshwater red tide have not happened recently. However, blue-green algae still occurred almost every year. And mold odor has continued, and these are caused by cyanobacterial phytoplankton, Hormodium, Anabaena, and Oscillatoria, and so on. Recently, they are extended for a long period of time from early summer to autumn. Therefore, water treatment plants should be activated carbon treatment. Water quality preservation requires control of the pollutant load flowing into river and lake. Sewer system and wastewater regulation were effective to control the point sources. However, control the sources not easy for non-point sources. Non-point sources, the urban area is the roads and roof and parking lots and so on. And rural areas, rice paddy fields, farmland, And natural sources are forest, wilderness, precipitation. Thus, next step of water quality preservation requires the control of the non-point source pollutant road flowing into rivers and lakes. Now, toward the final phase. At first, occurrence of flood damage and water contamination caused by stormwater runoff in urban areas, rainfall and climate change, heavy rain and intensity. So, increase of the flow rate caused by urbanization and or flow out to contaminant deposit on the ground surface, drainage channels in urban areas, and drain pipes. Exceeds the capacity of drainage channels or generation of contaminated water. It's required to expand river wides or to build a new river. But many rivers wides in Japan are too narrow. Consequently, damage of road and houses caused by flood and increase of the inflow of contaminants to Lake Biwa. Actually, non-point source is different problem. You can see bridges under the piping, many piping, you see. So currently there are many bridges like this around Lake Biwa. This bridge is above a roadway and street inlet and piping direct discharge the river and flow in Lake Biwa. So from the perspective of anthropogenic eutrophication, we need to take preventive measures against direct discharge of pollutants from roadways into nearby lakes, rivers, and closed water areas. Now, we need to change gray infrastructure to green infrastructure. So green infrastructure uses vegetation and soils and other elements and practice to restore some of the natural process required to manage the water and create better urban environment. And sustainable urban drainage system and low impact development. Sustainable urban drainage system offer an alternative approach to traditional drainage. Moreover, low impact development approach combines a hydrologically functional site design with pollution prevent measures to compensate for land development impact on hydrology and water quality. It's highly effective to focus on recognition and awareness of measures. What you can see here is a multi-purpose solution approaches for non-point sources issues a conceptual framework. Center a non-point source pollution load reduction measures by Ministry of Environment. Stormwater discharge controlled, improvement forest management, improved urban discharge system. Blue and pink and green color by Ministry of Land Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism. So comprehensive flood management, disaster prevention, stormwater retention facilities, rainwater storage, and permeable pavement, and sewage system improved, and combined sewer overflow control and control of stormwater runoff. green infrastructure, green roof, and wetland, wet pond. Purple and yellow colors and by Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries. Improved fertilizer and pesticide management, and forest conservation and erosion control, sediment control, and works. They are apparently similar to and related measures promoted by the Ministry of Environment aimed to reducing non-point sources pollution. New approach will be led to carry out measures more rationally and effectively. For that, the interministry coordination is very important, but it's difficult. Viewpoint is frameworks for measures to control non-point source pollution. Measures intended for water quality conservation, direct and or indirect measures. Measures not intended for water quality conservation. Indirect measures must be strategically incorporated into water quality conservation objectives. It's really important that consciously incorporating objectives for non-point source pollution control measures. The implementers of those measures must be made aware of their effect on water quality conservation so that they can more effectively serve non-point source control. Thus, they are going to be moved ahead with effectively and low cost. There are various water pollution sources around themselves. Atmospheric deposition, agricultural effluent, soil erosion, and municipal and wastewater, and in industrial effluent, and groundwater contamination. So many water and connecting water cycle. Its conclusion in my talk, pollutants traverse and water circulate. In that case, it's difficult to trace the pollutant to their sources. To solve an environment problem, don't focus on part of the problem. You can't see the forest for the trees. It's important for each of us to be able to comprehensively promote measures against non-point source pollution with others, and to always have the common recognition and perspective that the other aim is possible to greatly contribute to measures against non-point source pollution with low cost. For the future of management of water system, this point of view would be helped to strengthen cooperation with organizations and authorities related to the water basin. I've been to Manila in 2002 for regional consulting workshop on water in Asian cities, the Rule of Cities Society. It's me and very young. So, that was my good opportunity. So Manila City, Lake Town, beautiful sunset, and children innocent smile. I think that there is a lot of water issues and there are other problems in your country. It's up to you to solve them. I wish you every success in your job. I'd like to thank you all for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much for a special lecture on the comprehensive water quality and water basin or river basin management. So now, so everybody can release to the mute functions, and now is the open for question and answer. Any audience can start to your questions. Anyway, any points you can give the questions. She talked about the many most important message shows in the conclusions, right? So to deal with the water pollutions and water environment conservations, so multi-policy or different sectors cooperate each other to share the common visions or common goal, then they can do together to complete or achieve to the purpose. At the same time, low cost technology or technique would be preferable to implement in the actual situations. So, any questions? If you have a good question, I can give some special gift. No, no, no.
I have one question, Sensei.
Please.
Thank you, Dr. Keiko, for the nice presentations.
Thank you.
My question is, can you explain me more about the role of the central government in the conservation of Lake Biwa, and also maybe the role of the prefecture? I forgot the name of the prefecture. Maybe you can explain me more about the difference of the role of the central government and also the prefecture governments in the conservation in Lake Biwa. Thank you.
So the prefecture means the Shiga prefecture.
Yes,
So the
yes.
government
Yes, Sensei.
will implement or enact to control the water pollution in Lake Biwa. And also the local government also give the local regulations. So you want to know the
Yes,
relationship?
Sensei. I mean the difference of role between these two central government and also the local government.
Okay. Please.
Lake Biwa, central government, and if they mean a central government, a local government, and corporate.
Yes.
Yeah. So Lake Biwa is main is largest in Lake Biwa, largest in Lake Japan, and so and
Maybe Wada-san, you can show to the slide for 18.
8,240 square.
Just you can show the slide number 18.
Is
Would be helpful to understand.
okay.
Yes.
18. Yes. Okay. So Lake Biwa. So and it's and wife and housewife and so disaster the detergent synthetic very phosphorus and sickness children. Okay, so phosphorus and not used and soap activity and the Siga prefecture and so many community is fast and action and the government and so behind the so pollution control So Shiga Prefecture and they love the Lake Biwa and many resistant people. And so small government and ordinance and over and national government, the Japanese government and the law and worked and so Shiga Prefecture and government and so action that Japanese government so relation related so
Oh, Wada-san, I can help you.
yeah so
So basically, you can find to the 1970 water pollution control law is the
yeah
government law. So
yes
under
yeah
this law,
mm,
water bodies should
mm,
be controlled from the pollutions.
mm,
That we have the different pollution situation in the rivers and
mm,
lake and coastal water. We
mm.
enact the Clean Lake Law
Clean liquid
1984.
1994はいはい、
It means it is
うん
really important to look at the different pollution phenomena.
うん
So the eutrophication is one of the big some cause to the interference to the water use in lake.
うん
That's the reason why the nutrients control
うん
has been highlighted.
うん
Before applying to the enact to the clean lake law, but the Shiga
うん
is really keen and really conscious about the water pollution in Biwa Lake
うん
because it is very important water resource.
うん
So
yes
that's the reason why they start to the apply to the ordinance. Ordinance means a local government law.
yes
Okay?
yes
Just a
yes
Shiga prefecture, they can use it. Okay?
yes
So looking at the nutrient control, they realize the
yes
phosphorus is
phosphorus yes
the governing factor or
yes
nutrient or limiting factor.
yes
So they try to stop to use the detergent
うん
containing the
うん
phosphorus.
yes
So this is really nice actions and
yes
really nice control of the phosphorus road to the lake.
うん
They achieved the better. So
yes
it means still this ordinance close related to the water pollution control law,
うん
which is enacted by the government.
yes
So, but the local government give the more stringent or new idea or
yes
customized, locally applicable
yes
rule can be applied to
yes
the each local situations.
yes
So that's a Japanese law system.
yes
Do you understand?
Yes, Sensei.
Okay. So any
Sometimes
other
taking profit from yeah.
might be once you have my lectures in the future. I took
Thank you very
some. Water, maybe fundamental of water pollution control or something. I took some, but the time is very limited. But she introduced the actual situations in the water pollution control in the Lake Biwa and the Yodo River. This is a really important water resource.
One
So,
more, Sensei and Dr. Keiko.
yeah.
I'm curious about the development of sewerage system in around Lake Biwa. I guess the funding will be so large to provide a sewerage system there. Is there any support from the central government for the development of sewerage system in this area? I'm just curious about it.
So budget a fund
Yes.
to construct the sewage system
Yes.
and the treatment plant in these regions.
Yes. So, the Kansai region is a very important drinking water sources, Lake Biwa. So government, the budget, and understream, and the prefecture, and the budget, and Lake Biwa, the clean improvement. So many huge budget.
So I can additional information. You still remember the comprehensive development of Lake Biwa.
Yes.
So this is not local government project. This is a government, national government project. It means under this big project for development of the Lake Biwa, more national government money was subsidized,
Mm.
is given, but the local government also need to pay. For
Mm.
example, usual project and 50 and 50 matching fund, but this kind of some special project, so two-thirds come national government, one-third the local government.
Mm.
So it is a good incentive for the local government
Mm.
to implement the new countermeasures
Mm.
with the more strong or larger support, financial support from the government. So it means national government look at the future, and which is more important, they organize or started to the big project. This case is a lot of money
Mm.
come from the government compared to the general project. It is the answer to you, right? Okay,
Yes.
lot of
So,
Yes,
money
that's
come.
it. Thank
But
you, Dr.
at the same
Keiko.
time, as you know, in Japan, we have a really high
yes.
economical development,
Yes.
so that we income is increase.
Mm.
Company earn a lot of money.
Mm.
So a lot of tax come to the government. It is easy to use a lot of money to
Mm.
construct the sewage treatment plant and drainage system and so on. But now
Mm.
every country have not so good conditions
Yes.
in finance. So that's the reason why we try to find a low cost and
Mm.
also important to the cost effective
Mm.
measures. At
Mm.
that time, we have a lot of money. That's the reason why we
Mm.
can invest a lot of money and construct a really sewage treatment plant and
Mm.
rapidly. It means after 20, 30 years later, rapidly construct sewage system
Mm.
is aged.
Mm.
We also how to maintain.
Mm.
So
Yes. Yeah.
slow growth is easy to manage, but the
Mm.
rapid growth is faced to the new
Mm.
maintenance era.
Mm.
We also face to the new problem in the future.
Mm. Yes.
Okay,
So,
thank you very much for good questions. Any other questions?
Sensei, good morning. Can I
Good
have a
morning.
question?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Dr. Wada, for your presentation. So, I would like to ask you. You mentioned earlier that one of the reasons for the degradation of Lake Biwa was because of the increase in population.
mm.
So I would like to ask, like, how was the general public involved in the planning, or were they involved in the planning for the pollution control in Lake Biwa, and what were some social measures to um reduce or to improve the condition of Lake Biwa?
This beaver and increase the population is caused by the transportation. So nearby and Osaka city and the Shiga prefecture. So and one 1 hour take 1 hour the train. So Osaka is the second metropolitan and Tokyo and second big city. So Shiga and then many cheap and land and house is many people and the southern lake area. And so, but local and residents, so many farmers and fishers, and the water quality is there are many people that preserve. Now, there are many non NGO or NPO and registered Lake Bureau and protected so community and take part in the water and the clean water action and government and Shiga prefecture and so many cancer region very close and water and lake and rivers. So and not government. There are some protection service and salvations. Not only the government, but also and so local the people. Mm,
Sila Alfonso, can you get the
Yes,
answer?
yes, Sensei.
mm,
Yes, Sensei,
Mm.
I understood.
Can you repeat the questions again?
My question, Sensei,
Mm.
was like,
mm,
since the one of the reasons of the degradation of Lake Biwa was the
Mm.
increase in population, like how
Mm.
did
mm,
the control in the planning of the
Mm.
control measures to
Mm.
improve the condition of Lake Biwa, how was the general
Mm.
public involved, or like were there social
Mm.
measures, for
Mm.
example,
Mhm.
mm,
So
that were
might be
implemented?
the some main policy
mm,
they implement or construct to the sewage treatment plant
mm,
to protect to the entering the wastewater. At the
mm,
same time, they look at the eutrophication case. They
mm,
also apply to the nutrient removal in the
mm,
sewage treatment plant.
yeah,
Usual activated stretch processes cannot remove some nutrients,
mm,
but the advanced treatment, tertiary treatment can be applied. At the
yeah,
same time, look at the non-point source
mm,
control for
mm,
sewage treatment, but the non-point, it means that there are many important behavior. One is the changing to the detergent does not contain to the phosphorus. This is
Mm-hmm.
one actions.
mm,
And also control to the agriculture sector.
mm,
We
Mm-hmm.
try to reduce to the fertilizers dosage applications
mm,
and control to the polluted irrigated water coming
mm,
into. Just before entering the lake, they have the pond or some reservoir
mm,
to purify the better,
mm, mm,
then discharge. And
Mm-hmm.
also control to the forest.
mm,
They manage the better conditions,
mm,
less run of the nutrient for the forest. So
mm,
it means that different uh, sector should
mm,
contribute,
yeah,
reduce to the total load to the lake. It means
mm,
Lake Bia is a kind of mother
mm,
of the water
mm,
in these regions,
mm,
and Yodo River is a long history to Kyoto and Osaka
okay,
to
mm,
support the water supply.
mm,
So resident people and the government people also focusing or looking at this is a precious
mm,
nature of water.
mm,
So that's relatively easy for them implement some new countermeasures and also give a lot of budget.
mm,
Okay,
Thank you, Sensei. Thank
okay.
you,
yeah,
Dr. Wada.
So
yeah,
almost 11:07, but if you have some questions, one more question is accepted. But if you have additional questions, please you can send to directly to her, shown to the email address,
mm,
or you also send to me. I
mm,
transfer to Wada Sensei, right?
mm,
So Dan, you have some questions?
Hi, Sensei.
mm,
Please.
yes,
Yes, Sensei. Since the development plan is about 25 years,
mm,
based in the presentation, uh, did, did the government provide a grace period to the regulated
mm,
industries and on the control measures in the
mm,
rehabilitation of Lake Biwa, and how long did the government provide those grace
mm,
period if it is given? It was given.
Sorry, I do not
mm,
catch questions. So you talk about the comprehensive development of Lake Pia,
Yes,
start
sir.
to the 1972, it
Yes.
end to the 1996. You want to know after the implementations,
During the implementation,
during the implementations,
mm,
did the government provide a grace period to the regulated industries in order to comply with the control measures?
uh,
And how long is the grace period if it was given?
mm,
so efferent regulations, efferent,
Yes, sir. Control
it
measure.
means the
Yes, sir.
without this comprehensive development, so water pollution control law apply to the every time.
And so everything, yes.
Oh, okay.
So it means the 1970 water pollution control law was enacted. Then we already start to the effluent control from the enterprise or factory.
Immediately, sir. And there's no grace period given in order to comply about 1 year, 2 years.
Sorry, I do not catch the questions. It means we established the effluent standard first, okay,
Yes, sir.
including the different water pollutants parameters. Then the big factory, which discharge to the more than 50 cubic meter per day, they follow this effluent standard. And also they have to monitor. Then they have to report to the government. And also the local government have to inspect them. Not every year, but once to violate it, they got a penalty from the government. They have to stop the operations.
Yes.
Okay.
So the implementation is immediate.
Immediate.
There's no grace period given to them in order to comply.
No. In some cases, so if some special factory does not have the some treatment technology is not available or not affordable, this case a kind of some tentative regulated concentration applied to this group. It means the tentative is right.
Yes.
So it means availability or affordability technology is not applicable. Government set to the little bit higher concentration level is applied to some specific factory. But every 3 years, every 5 years, so they have to report how to improve the effluent quality. So still there's some special factory applied to the tentative regulated effluent standard. Is that the answer to you?
I'd say.
Okay. So now it is good time to finish. So if you have the questions, please directly send to her or just to send to me. I can transfer and also I can provide the answer from me.
Yeah.
So don't hesitate. But by the way, Christine, can you show your face?
I'm sorry, Sensei. My internet connection is quite problematic.
Okay.
At the moment.
Now I want to take a screenshot for the memory of the special lecture. So that's the reason why you have a best smile face close to the camera. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. So I'm going to start to the print screen. I also show the good face. Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Just a moment. I want to confirm it works well. Just a moment. Okay. 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 So how can I show you? Okay. So okay, this is the share. I took this one. It works. Can you see? Okay. So I distributed or I put on the Google Drive. You can use it. Okay. So thank you very much for attending to the lecture. And before closing the session, you can remove to the mute and the clap in hand. また先生どうもありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
ありがとうございます。
No.
バイバイ。それじゃあね。はい。和田さんどうもありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
これでビデオを終了したいと思います。